let's do this. Now this is my Frostnite 128. Crap, whatever the hell you want to use this for. It doesn't have to be Frostnite 128, but you know, you can use it for Frostnite in general. These floor launchers are all happy and stuff. I think everyone knows about this floor launcher thing where you put lots of floor launchers everywhere and then they'll just go wee all the way up in the air and then drop down to their demise. But to be honest, there's actually a lot more to it than just that. Now, generally the idea is that you want to have really good trap tunneling and these floor launchers to finish off whatever husk that somehow made it through your trap tunneling and just launch them in the air and then die. But make sure your trap tunneling is good. Right, this floor launcher thing, like, I'll be honest, like, anyone could really do it, right? Just put floor launchers, all impacts, and then you're good to go. Except for this one. I actually like to put double reloads on these little ones over here. I like the double reload, because I have a structure that goes all the way up there as well. So, but that's pretty much the only exception. Everything else, all impact, all happy impact. But the trap tunneling is actually the more complex. It makes it more complex to build. I guess I'll explain with the easy stuff. Lobber Shield, right? Lobber Shield is pretty straightforward. Right? You try to build the Lobber Shield as high as you can, as early as you can, and this avoids any propane aggro, right? Or any sort of aggro on the husk that they have on you and be like, oh, there's probably some pathway that's connected up here. I'm just going to try to attack this wall to get up there. Alright. So, for this Lobber Shield, try to build a flat rectangle if you can. If you look all the way up here, there's like a rectangle that connects all the way from there, all the way there, and all the way there. You can probably see it from up here. There's, right? And then once you make that rectangle, then you can start making the actual big part of the Lobber Shield, right? And this makes it a lot easier to build once you have that rectangle. Right, all you have to do is just walk up, and then when you get to the end piece, right, you just have to edit to that corner, and then go ahead and just like repeat. Alright, it's actually pretty straightforward. Once you have to make sure you build that rectangle piece. On towards the east side, there's this hill that's actually kind of close to us, so make sure you try to build up as early as you can. And try to get over the hill. Like, I actually didn't finish, I didn't go all the way like this. Instead I built this little box thing here just to avoid them attacking this piece here. They actually can attack this piece, not always, but sometimes they do, and it's pretty annoying. So make sure that you prevent them from doing so. Alright? And this part is to connect all the way up to the burner at the very top. So make sure you have some structure connecting from your Lobber Shield all the way to the top of the burner. Right? So if all the walls somehow, like all the smashers start whacking all these walls, I don't like you walls. Rawr. All the walls are gone. Ha ha ha. And victory. And the structure is still standing because they're connecting to the Lobber Shield. Right? But make sure that structure is high enough so that it's not interfering with the wall launching. And I say 8 tiles is what you want to go for. So 8 tiles high. So you can count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there you go. Right, so that's the Lobber Shield, right? That's the easy stuff. Right, so let's get into the more the meat of this, right? Which is the trap tunneling itself. You want really good trap tunneling. This floor launcher thing doesn't do, but the trap tunneling is what's really going to make you victorious. Alright, so we start with the no spawn, right? No spawn, they spawn over here. Rawr, rawr. Now these wall launchers are just there so that they prevent you from attacking this wall, and also may possibly give it more delay. Right? So wall launch here, all the way 3 tiles here. Ouch. Wall launch here. Go back to the spawn. Wall launch there. I don't think I really need that wall launcher there, but I'll just put it there. Just, you know, extra materials. Why not? But you need to place whatever traps are, at least especially early on, whatever traps is most important, put those down on first. This is kind of silly over here, but whatever. It's fine. Right? So wall launch here, 3 tiles over here, back to the spawn. Right, and if they went to here, 3 launch over here, little zap thingy over here, and this wall light over here to prevent them from going even further. You know, just extra crowd control, right? Delaying them, and then delay them more. They take more damage from the gas and whatever the hell they're getting hit from, like the flame drill of affliction or spike trap damage, which doesn't do much, but it adds up. Whatever damage can add up. And this wall launch over here into this. Ouch. Generally, I actually don't like using this personally, but you can leave it there if you really want to, but I find sometimes there could be a risk when it comes to propanes. If they're too close and you have that little timeout box over here, they may want to explode that wall. You know, like it. So yeah, so that's why I prefer if instead they just leave this wall empty. That'd be fine too. All right. So they'll get over here, wall launch here, wall launch there. So there's not really a lot of room in this north area, to be honest, right? There's not really much room. Once they go over here, they'll get immediately floor launched a little bit from here, or they get wall launched over here, which they'll take a different pathing, which is towards the east spawn, right? Or they get full launch over here, or they get wall launched back into this part over here, right? There's not a lot of room for the north side, right? Like this is trying to do a lot of the heavy lifting, but it really can't do that much. Even this, like this can't really do a whole lot. There's just not enough space. So for the north side, what I'd like to do is this thing up here, right? So if everyone runs slow field, which I hope you do, drop a slow field down here, woo, and now you can cycle through slow fields, and the north spawn should be completely good to go. Like if you drop a slow field here, like you're good, like you're good. Especially if you get like right the slow field right down here, like you're good because you're getting slowed for this wall launch and this wall launch. You're good to go, like guaranteed. Right, so that's a north spawn, right? There's not a whole lot you could do with it. You just got to deal with it, really. All right. So this I'll go over to northeast spawn. Northeast spawn over here. So there's this pit over here, which I marked as a brick. This is just so I can, you know, get from here all the way up. Oh yeah, ouch. Yeah, don't worry about this. This is something from like February. And so yeah, so they spawn up in this hill over here, which I marked as this little black thingy mabob, right? So they get wall launch here, wall launch there, wall launch, wall launch, wall launch, wall launch, wall launch, right? So I'm taking advantage of a lot of wall launching over here, right? So this wall launcher would go into the pit. And this wall launcher will also go into the pit. So there's only 2 wall launchers here that are taking advantage of the pit. And I was thinking about using a floor launcher here, but I was like, no. The reason why is because I have to put that wall over here, and this plus might start attacking this wall. And I'll be like, no, I don't want you to attack that wall. Alright? So yeah, instead I just do the wooden floor spikes. Just let them jump down, up, slowed, up, wall launch, up, plane grilled, up, maybe another wall launch over on the outside. And you know. So if they're coming towards this pathway, they're getting all these wall launchers, and then this wall launcher will get this little 2x1 box, right? They'll probably this wall launcher won't activate again probably once they're coming over here, and then they'll use this wall launcher, which will go back here. It's like, oh well, they're coming back, and then maybe this wall launcher will activate again, right? We could be in that cycle, but not always. And then this wall launcher will launch them over here, and at the path over here, there's this wall light over here, which is slowing down a little bit. So I use a wall light instead of wall launcher because I don't want to launch them towards this way, of course. And they might pass through the east side if you really want them to, right? Instead of taking the normal pathway, and then these wall launchers were there, which would be over here, right? Okay, so I am trying to take advantage of whatever I can with these wall launchers and make sure they can launch them 3 times. Sometimes they don't always work out, sometimes they just work out all the way up to here, right? Which I guess maybe I can remove this wall. Let's see. If I remove that wall, they get wall launched here, and maybe they'll take a different pathway over here, which that might not be a bad idea, but yeah, it might not be a bad idea. Maybe I'll do it. Yeah, it's up to you if you can have that wall there or not. There's all kinds of different options, but I'll just leave it for now, I guess. Maybe. Yeah, whatever works, to be honest. But yeah, you can take it. Both of them have actually advantages and disadvantages of leaving this wall up here. So you can see that if they got wall launched all the way in this tile, they might take the pathing over here, or they might just go back to the same pathing here. It looks like maybe they'll go back to the same pathing here. So maybe this doesn't have a huge advantage. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. outposts are really weird sometimes. I'll leave that. It's wall dynamo in. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much that particular side. Now for this side of the northeast, because there's a split, right? I'm trying to make them split so that I can take as much advantage as I can with the diversity of the pathing. If there's more diversity of pathing, there's more floor launchers being utilized of different sides, right? It's almost as if you can imagine this north side being split up in two different pathways, and they're taking advantage of floor launchers of two different sides, right? There's less stress on the floor launchers because there's less density on each pathing of those floor launchers, right? And this particular pathing is actually pretty good because they get wall launch 3 over there with the wall light, just a little bonus wall launch over there, which is only 2. But wall launch 2, wall launch 3, and wall launch 3, wall launch 3, which is, this is also a ramp towards the east side, I'll explain. Wall launch 3, the wall launch sometimes they can go a little bit 3.5, but pretty much is about 3. And wall launch 3, which this is also a floor launch all the way up in the air, which they could possibly kill them. Or probably would kill them in most cases. So yeah, this is actually pretty good because you're doing the 3 wall launch a lot of the times, right? 3 wall launch, 3 wall launch, 3 wall launch, which makes it really good. And this relaunch tactic is often used when they have a spawn, spawns in diagonal. So you see this pathway over here. If there's a diagonal spawn, you can take advantage of this 3 wall launch thing. So I did this on the northeast side, I did this on the southwest side, and I did this on the southeast side, this 3 wall launch thing. I'll even take a look at the southeast too. So this 3 wall launch thing I did there, I did there. I didn't do that there, but I did it here because they actually come up here. They spawn up there, right? There's a hill up here. So it's only 2, but you get the idea. There's a 3 wall launch, right? So yeah, those are particularly really good for those corners, and they'll keep chaining back to their spawn because basically when they get wall launched here, they're in this spawn, and this might not have been triggered yet. So once they get up, they can walk again, right? Because they can't get once they're on the ground, they can't get crowd controlled again, right? Once they get up, they're no longer crowd controlled. It's like, oh, I got wall launched over here. Oh, okay, well, crap. And then it's all launched. Oh, I get wall launched here. Oh, okay. Oh, I get up. Oh, I get wall launched here. Oh, okay, I'll get up. And there's that cycle. And same thing with this, right? Oh, I get wall launched over here. Like, oh, I get wall launched over here. You know, or if they get over here, oh, I get wall launched over here. Oh, I get wall launched over here. Or if you get over here, oh, I get wall launched over. Yeah, okay, you get the idea. It's like endless chaining of crap. And before I bore you to death, now here is the east spawn. So the east spawn is split up into 2, which is a little bit unusual, but I actually prefer it like this. Again, reducing density on those floor launchers, because if they're all coming through here, right, they're doing these floor launchers over here, and they're going through a straight pathway here. Now this split I like because it's taking advantage of 2 different floor launchers here, right, reducing the load, but they'll eventually lead up to this floor launcher and this floor launcher, right, which those would be heavily utilized. But if you're reducing the load using those, then it's actually very beneficial for you, right? Instead of just having like one straight beamline pathway, right? So this part is pretty standard, right? Because this is all gassed up. You gas up your spawn like crazy and like go like wee, you know. And so once they come up here, then these things probably won't be used that much. Maybe on a smasher they might trigger. That's pretty much all I can think of. But basically they get wall launched over here back to there, or they get wall launched up here, or they get wall launched over there, or they get wall darts beep bump beep bump beep bump beep bump. Well, not wall dart or wall light or wall light. Now, I know some people, sometimes they don't like putting these wall launchers here because, well, they put it over here and then they launch over here. What's the point of that? Well, the point is so that they get delayed, really. That's really what the point is, so they get delayed. It's not a huge delay compared to the wall light, but it does a delay. If you want, you could use a wall dart, but it's fine. Not a big deal. So once they choose either of their pathings, they'll get a wall launcher here, which of course has to be 3 tiles, right? If you want them to actually do something really meaningful, right? Because if they get wall launch here, they take a different pathing compared to the east pathing, which I showed earlier, right? lag. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. And if they decide not to take that new pathing, then they go back to the old pathing and they get wall launched back into here. Right, and then if they continue forward again, they get wall launched back into here, and then continue forward, wall launched back. Oh yeah, there's that cycle again. Oh crap, now it's starting to get annoying. Now you must imagine what the husk feel now. So yeah, this is the ramp that I'm going to split the east spawn in. And I find this actually pretty good because it reduces the load on the east spawn so that they can have alternative pathing, right? So reducing that density on those traps, especially the full launchers, right? So if they come over here, right, they get gassed and they come up. I guess you can even put more gas too as they come up the cliff and stuff, but you know, that's up to you. If you have extra materials and you have really high trap durability like I do, then go for it. Right, like this is 105 gas and I don't even have like machinists or anything because my trap durability is like awesome. Like it is awesome, 292%. Right? So you can put a wall light or wall dynamo here. I prefer dynamo for more damage, but the wall lights actually work really well too. Now, and also they are cheaper because dynamos use nuts and bolts. And nuts are going to be very scarce in these Frostnite. So, alright, so they can take that pathing, which leads them to somewhere else, and then they get wall launched here, wall launched there, wall launched there, wall launched there. You're taking advantage of this northeast, right? Which is really nice. So that's pretty much the north. Oh yeah, and there's also this one, right? If they go down this pathing, they'll get wall launched over here, right? And then they can do a different pathing, wall launched over here, wall launched over there, and etc. Right? Or they can go back to this one and then get wall launched here, and then maybe a wall launch over here, and yeah, etc. There's this 3-tile wall launching that's going on that you're taking advantage of, and it's absolutely beautiful, right? It is beautiful. But yeah, and then there's the Celti spawn. Celti spawn's actually pretty rare for them to attack, but I have it in case for the hill up there. I like it for the hill up there. There's not really much that comes up there, to be honest. Or the rare Celti spawn that could happen sometimes. They'll just spawn up here, right? Or a little bit on that hill up there, which I can't really see, but you know, there's like all the way, like, you know, well, you get the idea. There's a Celti spawn that's rare. Some people block it off, and I don't recommend it because when it happens and you're like, oh crap, what do I do? I'm like panicking now. I didn't build for there. Oh crap. Well, yeah. So, in my opinion, you should build for it. Alright? Simple. And because it's in the corner, right? Like you see this over here, and it's like, oh, that's in the corner, right? I can do that three wall launch thingamabob I was doing, right? So yeah, that's what I did. That 3 little wall launch thingamabob, right? 3 wall launch, 3 wall launch, 3 wall launch. Ooh, alright, cool. So that's the Southeast spawn basically all in a nutshell. Make sure you try to use these wooden floor spikes early, right? So they get slowed immediately, reducing the time it takes for them to get to the base, and then wall launch, wall launch, wall launch, wall lights or whatever the hell you want to use to delay them as much as you can there, so they can save more time on your trap tunnels and, you know, do more damage and all that happy stuff. Alright, so let's go on the south side over here. So the south side. South side that they spawn over here and sometimes a little bit over here, but yeah, generally they're behind this wall thing, right? And so they can split, right? So I actually have this thing open on purpose so that they can actually split into this trap tunnel if they wish to, right? In the southeast trap tunnel. So it reduces a little bit of density, not that much, but it does reduce the density a little bit. Especially if there's like a smasher like just going over here, just like hanging out, or especially flingers. Flingers like to really like go wherever the hell they please, right? So this gives them more, I guess, a little bit more tourist attraction, you know, instead of just going to the same boring pathway. It's like, oh, I want to take a little detour today. Oh, what's over here? Some happy stuff, right? So yeah, and so the basic straight beamline south town. Like, I have all these wall launchers like all lined up, like ready to salute. Right, so basically over here, this tile generally tends to be blown up, so that's why I don't put a tile over here. But they get wall launched in the pit. This wall launcher usually is pretty good. It usually stays. I like this one. Or they get launched over here, or they get launched over there. So you see these are taking advantage of the pit as much as they can. Even this floor launcher over here. Sometimes it doesn't go in the pit, but it delays them. Even if it does beep bump, beep bump, beep bump, beep bump. Even if it fails, right? So either way is good. Or if this wall launcher, like if they get the right angle and they will launch from here, and then they get launched all the way up to here, and it's like, oh well, you know, it's fine, not the end of the world. If you want, you could replace this with a wooden floor spike. That's okay too. Like oh crap. I upgraded to tier 2, didn't I? Ah, damn. Alright, so I guess if you want, you can also make this a wooden floor spike. It's not a big deal. Alright. But yeah, these wall launch, oh, well, I guess if you want, you could put this in gas, be like, oh, more happy gas. It's up to you. Alright, so wall launch there, wall launch there. So this is taking advantage of the pit, this is taking advantage of the pit, and this is taking advantage of the pit, and this wall launcher is taking advantage of the pit. So you got technically 5 launchers taking advantage of this pit. Let's mark it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of them, right? And that's actually going to help tremendously on the south side. So take advantage of that pit as best as you can. The northeast, I couldn't take advantage of it too much because the spawns were very close. But this one, yeah, this one's good because this one's too long, too wide instead of just taking advantage of just the one. So, alright, so they just spawn over here. If they actually path over towards this side, and they somehow pass through all these launchers and get slowed, right? So if they come over here, they get wall launched into here, right? And it's like taking a different pathway compared to just a straight beam line towards the objective. So they take a different pathway here. Oh well, still lots of places to go. Oh, let's explore. Oh, I get launched over here. Only a 2-1, but gets launched. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll go over here. Oh, crap. Maybe I'll go over here. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Yeah, so you see this thing I took advantage of again? This 3 wall launch thingamabob I did, right? I don't know what the hell it's called, but you know, it's the 3 wall launch thingamabob I'm gonna call it. Because the southwest is in there, and it's in the diagonal. Because of the diagonal, I can take advantage of that 3 wall launch thingamabob. Like, wee, and yeah, this is like amazing. So those corners are really, those corner spawns, the diagonal spawns are really amazing because not only they're longer, but they can take advantage of this beautiful design. Alright, so this one's a little bit shorter, but it's still good because if they not only take advantage of the pit, but if they go over here, you're completely changing their pathing, right, to a different floor launcher pathing, right? Because if you go over here, their floor launch is 1, 2, 3, and then, oh, that's it, right? If you change your pathing completely, like even this wall launcher could change that pathing completely, but whoa, well wait, now it can go somewhere else. Ooh. It reduces the load on those other floor launchers, right? If you change the pathing like even to here, it reduces the load on those other floor launchers, right? So if you reduce the load on those floor launchers, then what's going to happen is that your floor launchers would be used a lot less frequently, right? So they can be fully optimized, right? Because there's not a lot of space really. For you can put your floor launchers. Then you want to make sure that your traps are killing as much husk as you can before the fatties come in, right? Those like smashers, even elemental husks. Sometimes these trap tunnels just won't kill those elemental husks. They're so freaking tanky, but once they come over here, oh, they'll take a ton of damage. And even more damage if you use like a debuff, like a soldier, just shoot them as they're ball there in the air, right? They'll take extra damage from that fall damage. So yeah, so if they somehow pass here, which is completely like, so this 3rd wall launcher on that path is completely changing their pathway. Right? So alright, so that's pretty much what that is. But now this 4 wall launcher, since these 2 wall launchers are like doing their own business, you know, wrecking shit up, this one's not really doing a whole lot. So instead, I just try to kill them as best as I can, like just zap them or whatever, right? When they somehow make it like past there, they still survive, then it's like, oh well, alright, I get zapped again. Probably not because of the delay of the dynamos, but they'll delay them as much as they can, and then they get over here, and then they'll get launched all the way back here, changing the pathway completely, right? Instead of using those floor launchers, using these ones, right? So that's why this is really effective, because it's changing the pathing of the husking, which it normally would take, right? Reducing the load in those floor launchers. Now, if they actually do come in here, they get launched back in here, right? Which is nice. And if they get launched over here, they get launched back in here, which changes the pathing completely, and then they can go ahead and start, you know, doing and getting launched up in the air and all that happy things that are going on. Now if you go to the southwest corner spawn, which is over here somewhere, maybe these wooden floor spikes want to survive, maybe not, but I put them there anyway. So essentially, I think these will survive though. But yeah, lots of wooden floor spikes, and interchange the wooden floor spikes with this flame grills, because flame grills actually do quite a bit of damage. So same thing for the what I talked about earlier with the corners, right? Wall launch, 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 wall launch. All these wall launching is 3 tiles long. All of them are 3 tiles long, right? Interchanging with the flame grills, and that's what makes that spawn really freaking good. If you got the right trapped on them, really freaking good. For the west spawn, over here, look. So there's going to spawn up there, right? And they're going to drop down. So I gas that up. And what happens? Oh yeah, and also gas this little hole thing. So there's this little hole thing, and then try to take them out. You can use these dynamos if they're not like finishing off, like if they get launched and then launched into here, then it's better to use dynamos. But if they're getting launched in, like, say here, then it's better to use, it's better for that to be like a wall light instead, if that makes sense. Because they're not in the middle of because they're not going to be in the middle of crowd control unless they activates with this. But because the wall lights and wall launchers are in different timings, then they can be used together. Right? You have to keep in mind that wherever they're being launched, you need to make sure that these walls over here are not friggin' wall lights, because there's no point. They're going to be launched in there and they can't take an additional crowd control, right? So if they drop down here in this way, they can take that a little bit of that southwest tunneling that was going on there, the southwest tunneling. They actually did a little bit of a similar southwest tunneling, just right behind it, right? So over here, so wall launch, not a 3-tile thing, but this is a 3-tile thing, because this thing is actually a step. It's actually steps. I think it just won't come naturally. 3-tile launch, 3-tile launch, 3-tile launch, 3-tile launch. Actually, these are all friggin' flame grills. I actually don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that at all, actually. There we go. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, because like they won't, even though they're slowed over here, but if they actually get wall launched, if they actually get wall launched in there, they want to, and this is a flame grill, they want to get slowed at all. Unless they take this pathing. Actually, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'll just leave that flame grill. I am indecisive sometimes, but it's fine. You get the friggin' idea. Alright, so if they go through them this way, they'll get wall launched towards the southeast, taking on a different path, taking on possibly a different pathing. Right? Like over here, they can take, maybe they go over there, or they may go back here, which they might get launched over back to their spawn over there, or they might get over here and launch back over here, and they might take a different pathing over here. Right? Compared to the straight hard east, like straight hard pathing towards the north. What the frick am I saying? Straight pathing towards the burner. There we go. Right? Because their natural pathing, if they're assuming there's no wall launchers, would be like maybe over here, 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 there, or they might go over here, 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 here. Right? So there's like so that's the hard pathing. You're trying to break that hard pathing using these wall launchers, and that would help reducing the load on these floor launchers, right? But they can take on a different pathing. So if they drop down here, they'll go over there, or if that's not successful, they'll just go back to the spawn here. If that's no good, then they'll go over here, right? Darts, and I guess I could make one of these friggin' wall light. Yeah, you know what? I'll make that a wall light. Why not? Yeah, cool. And just because if they walk over here, then they have additional crowd control to slow them down. And the reason why I don't want them to be a wall launcher launching them back here is because this particular northwest spawn is actually pretty intense, right? And I don't want to increase the density of something that's already pretty dense. So I want to instead reduce that density by launching some of those mobs over here, right? So that's also starts with the going on to the northwest spawn. So the northwest spawn is basically all the way up there. So I guess I'm gonna go over here. Northwest spawn. Woo. Now the northwest spawn, they spawn over here. Sometimes they break this tile, sometimes not. Depends. But when they don't, it's actually pretty. That tile is nice to have, right? So basically, it's a 2x1 with these wall lights and wall launchers, launching them out, delaying them. Same thing with here, delaying them, right? So pretty much, you want to go all freaking hard out. You can even like put freaking gas traps up here, you know, or just, you know, a little bit extra tick or something, or yeah, or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like those really do a lot, but they might actually add up. So, and once they drop down here, right? So I'm trying to make a 2x1 so that when they drop down here, they'll get wall launched over there, breaking their path in, right, for the northwest. And if they go over here, they get launched over there, they get wall launched over here, wall launched over here, wall launched over here. It's like crazy, right? So I'm breaking that pathing for that particular drop, so that it's not a straight beeline, right? So they can reduce the time it takes, right, for them to actually get to the objective. If they actually do make it, right, after that wall launch, then they're going to be on a completely different pathing compared to the normal northwest pathing, right? So, right. But if they don't, then I guess they're gonna have to go through here. So the northwest, I think, is what I consider the second weakest spawn, because there's not a lot you can really do here, right? Like they spawn up there, it's like, well, can't put a gas there because they're just gonna walk on it. So I guess they just put wall launcher, and just like zap them and kill them as best as we can, and delay them as best as we can with these wall launchers and floor launchers, right? So even I put wall launchers over here, wall launcher over here, just to completely break the pathing to reduce the load on these floor launchers, right? I put a wall light here, yeah. I didn't feel like I want to use a wall. Use a wall dart here instead of wall light, because I feel like I don't want to break their impacts out too much. If I break their impact too much and this hits off, and then this wall light sets off, right? And the wall light is going to stun it, and it's going to be stunned instead of throw it in the air. I don't want that to happen. Lag. Oh, help me. Oh, there we go. So yeah, for this northwest spawn, I like to put a base like right under here. That's right under there, would be good. Or you can put it even a little bit closer to there. If you put a base right under here, then I guess you can replace the base, whatever is up there, to down there, right? And then you can and then if they're like coming in from the north side, you can put a base somewhere closer to the north side, right? So the north is the weakest, the northwest is the second weakest, and the east is the third weakest. And everything else is like perfectly fine. Like the south side spawns further away, so there's a lot more space given. And the corners, like the diagonal corners, are so freaking good because they give so much space, and you can use that beautiful 3 wall launch setup. Right, this one on towards the northern side of the northwest. Northern side of the northeast. It's a little bit not as good, but it's still really good overall. But this side's like, ooh, yeah, you're getting 3 wall launched everywhere. Yep. Alright, so that is pretty much it. I don't think there's really anything else I need to talk about, really. That's everything. That's all the spawns talked about. And of course, make sure you gas all the spawns too if you have extra traps, especially for those weaker spots. And those weaker spots would be again, north spawn, northwest spawn, and the east spawn. The west spawn also really nice to gas if you can too. So yeah, I guess the west spawn would also be the fourth weakest then, yeah. That may need some more attention. That's pretty much it. So, yeah. Oh yeah, also maybe I should talk about my burner too. I forgot about the burner. I have the design for the burner. You don't have to put wall lights here. These are just, you know, for cosmetic purposes. That's not really, I don't feel like they actually do a whole lot, to be honest, but you can add them if you want. The idea is that you can put a base down here if you want. It'd be a little bit lazy and just leave it there. Or you can leave it closer to the spawns, which would have buffed the floor launchers and also buff the trap tunneling closer to the spawns, like what I said earlier. You place a base here, which is cool, but you can also, what I always do is place the teleporter here. If you place the teleporter here, you can easily just drop down here and deposit the blue glow, right? And very safely. Some people put the teleporter right on the burner. I don't agree with it, because it's really dangerous. So instead, I just go up here, deposit it, and you can even build walls up here pretty safely, you know, if you really want to be like, hey, I'm cool, I'm chilling. Oh yeah, I need to build that wall? Cool, I'm chilling. This one's good. Yeah. And sometimes, not a good idea to place the teleporter here. I've done that once, place the teleporter on this particular roof, and this actually do destroy these roofs, so be careful. Right? So I want to put a teleporter here. I'll put it right on top of the burner, the tile above the burner, like 2 tiles up. In my opinion, that's actually best, because it won't be destroyed, and you can easily deposit the blue glow right from here, or you can just jump on top of the burner and deposit it. Whatever is your preference, because sometimes, you know, you gotta get that angling right, you gotta get really close, and you know, and yeah, and make sure you can easily get out and, you know, get to your nearest jump pads, which I put in my northwest and the southeast corners, so over there and over here. Yeah, that's pretty much it, and good luck to anybody that wants to try to complete this before this event ends, and you know. Alright. Yeah. I had a lot of explaining to do, huh? I'm sorry, Epic.